everybody, and welcome back to another thrilling episode of the AniGains podcast. It's the OGs back as usual. We've not had a guest on this show in a little minute, so for the time being, it's just me, Noah, and Kez until we can get Toyton on.
Yeah.
How are we?
Kez?
Well, excellent. Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Not too bad. So, it's been a couple of weeks since the last one, hasn't it? So, it's kind of like end of show season now. Obviously, I had like the Two Bros and PCA British Finals as like the last big shows. So now it's a little bit more chill with going to shows every weekend and having posing sessions and everything. So, yeah, man. So just more time to focus on business things, and as I said, growing in the off season now, can eat a little bit more food as well. So yeah, very calm. And obviously, I had a little excursion to watch the Chainsaw Man movie last night, which we shall get into later on. How about you, Noah?
Good. The diet is done. As you can see, I'm stuffing my face, guys. The diet is in fact done. We are 18 kilos down. I was a fat old boy. But 4 months later, we are 18 kilos down, and we have now got reversal. So we've got high days in. We don't have like baseline numbers haven't been pushed up yet. It's just been a case of giving 2 high days because body seems to be working well with it. Got a new gym as well. Everything feels fucking good. And like Kez says, the show season's done. I've not got anyone else competing for the rest of the year. Then next season it'll be the AniGains boys. But until then, just same old. You can?
These are fantastic. As you can see, AniGains viewers, visual viewers, you see, I'm in a different location now. That's because we've moved. We've moved a little closer into London. Fuck it, I'll dodge one. We've moved to St Albans. So, yeah, after coming from sort of just outside Luton to St Albans, where I lived before was very remote, and now I'm like in a town, in a thriving town, which is very cool because, I mean, you boys have experienced where I lived previously. Like, even very small things. Going to the store is an hour round trip, right? Like, if you want one packet of rice, that's going to take an hour of your time. But now, I've got everything, a couple steps away. So there's absolutely no missing, which is perfect as well, because we're going to be starting dieting soon. So unlike these boys, I've been growing. If you could watch through the episodes, you can progressively watch me get fatter as time goes on. So now I'm about 60 pounds up. We're going to look to probably chip off some of that and still keep all the strength there. But aside from bodybuilding, all that bollocks, I'm all good. I got back from London Comic Con yesterday, and boys, we are going next year.
Is it that good?
Mate, it's a very different experience from the.
Is it even better than the Milton Keynes Anime Gaming Con? I can't imagine it could have been better than that.
Mate, it was slightly better. They did actually have karaoke right next to the food court, which was yeah, that was. But to be fair, the pool of talent was a little better. I'm pretty sure somebody who I will not be named did perform again. I'm not joking.
No way.
I heard AC/DC's Thunderstruck.
Oh my god.
Vocals that sounded very, very similar. And I was like,
oh jeez.
No chance. There's no chance. He's back again. He's doing it in front of a larger crowd. And I was like, it's fair enough. Based on the location from distance, it's not up the question to think that could have been the same dude.
Yeah.
But it was a bit of a step up from the last con. They do have an adult only 18 after party. I think would be an experience. I think we might have to pull out the DJIs for that one. and get on some content. So AniGains viewers, let us know if that's something you would want to see. The AniGains boys. And maybe we can meet some of you there. Just please make sure you wear deodorant and you don't touch us without asking. Please. Because those are 2 things that happened to me yesterday a decent amount. So if we can try and
you get touched.
Yeah.
we'll preface. Obviously, not saying that this like preface your costume, preface everything, so people know.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so for context, I wanted to get my second round of money's wear out of my Tengen cosplay, which is a little smaller than I like. Yeah, I put it on. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, I need a little bit of a pullback. But yeah, like we got there, and I think the thing is my costume, relatively speaking, compared to everybody else's, was very low effort. You make up for it from just being 230 pounds. Like that's the
That is the costume.
it's just like I've ruined my life for your visual entertainment. That's the costume you get, and I think it was fair to say I don't think people were used to that at the con. I think we like see it like PCA shows and whatever. Everyone sort of is like that anyway. You know, like you just see like motherfuckers breathing hard. Like when the audio cut out at PCA British Finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the entire room. But yeah, no. I had a pose down next to some people in muscle suits, and I managed to get the angle on them. And I'm pretty sure that's only because I know how to pose properly. Because they said, let's do a front flexing pose. I said, what? Do you mean a front double? They were like, what? And then I made sure I stepped forward as well. God, fuck
All
off.
Might in the shadows.
Yeah, I was like, listen, sorry, All Might. Hold this L. Hold this L real quick. I'm winning the MCM Classic. Yeah, no, so that was the experience. But it was actually very good. I got some cool merch and stuff, but it's in a different room, and I wouldn't want to bore the non-visual viewers with that. But all I'll say is, very cool. We're 100% going next year. I don't want to hear it. It'll be around about like the same time, end of show season anyway. So we should all be.
Yeah. So, yeah, or in the middle of show season. Yeah. Just like literally 1 week do like a British finals. Next week go to go to Comic Con. Next week go to France to compete for an IFBB Pro card. Yeah, sound great season that. Yeah, literally.
for the Comic
AJ, how peaking for Comic Con?
Yeah.
Peak max for Comic Con, yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be our protocol. We're going to pump up in the queue. We'll keep for.
Can't do anything without a protocol.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everything's a protocol. Even if you're just going to bed, that's a sleep time protocol. It's fun as fuck. So, aside from that, I had a great weekend. We watched the Chainsaw Man movie, which I'm itching to get into. We've all gone and seen it. Like, as we all know, a good anime film in cinemas comes out very rarely. So, boys, first things first, because I know we're all itching. To rank the movie from 1 to 10. I'll go first. 10.
9.
8.
Okay, all right, let's get into it. So, Kez, 8 out of 10. Why? You gave the Demon Slayer movie higher, I swear.
No, I didn't. I gave it 7.5, I think.
So this is only 0.5 higher?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I want to know why.
Right, so the reasons why it was better is because it was more of a cohesive movie, I feel. Whereas, like, okay, it was good pacing from beginning to end. It had, like, a good, like, first act, second act, third act, where it kind of felt more like a standalone movie. Whereas Demon Slayer was more just kind of a continuation from the series, where it was like, okay, you need to have watched that to get straight into the movie, and as a standalone, it felt weird in terms of the pacing. So that's the thing that I liked about it. It was well put together. I actually liked like the slice of life stuff towards the beginning. I thought that was well done and built the characters up and got you engaged a little bit with the story and the new character that was introduced. So that was cool. Action was really good as well, to be fair. But I'd say it wasn't quite as like epic as Demon Slayer, I don't think, in terms of the action. Like, it didn't have me as gripped, the action scenes, as Demon Slayer did. It was kind of like some of the scenes were a bit drawn out, I feel, with the action, and it was a bit long, and I wasn't like, oh my god, like I'm glued to this action scene. It was kind of like I roughly know what's gonna happen, and I'd say it was a bit tropey, I feel, at times, and I kind of, as soon as that character was introduced, I kind of knew exactly what was going to happen with the whole story, and I was right as well with what that person was, and kind of what was going to happen, I suppose, at the end. So it was somewhat formulaic and tropey, I'd say, but it was done really well, really, really well. The soundtrack was amazing with all the scenes, I would say. So yeah, overall, I really like 8 isn't bad at all. Like I'm really harsh when it comes to rating shows, so it takes a lot for me to give a movie an 8. So no, I really enjoyed it. I was pleasantly surprised. Once again, a gripe with Chainsaw Man that I have is the overly sexual stuff. I feel like it kind of takes me out of it sometimes, like takes me out of the story and out of the scene. And I know it's like it's just jarring. I feel it's kind of a bit. Do you need to put that in there?
Sexual for you.
What's that?
Okay. Potential spoilers. What part was overly sexual for you?
A lot of the first half of the movie, I would say, a lot of it was.
The first half.
Yeah, yeah,
Can we put a disclaimer, like spoiler warning?
yeah. Let's just say spoiler alert.
Because
But I would say the movie toned it down a little bit because that was a big problem I had with season one. Just generally speaking, that just it took away the jeopardy of certain scenes when it kind of just chucked in that for comedic relief. But it did tone it down a bit in the movie. It was still there a little bit, though, too much for my liking. Just because I prefer more serious tone. But no, I enjoyed it as a whole. I was pleasantly surprised. So yeah, solid 8 out of 10. By you boys.
I really liked it. I think I've said this multiple times. I need a character that's a bit fucking stupid, and that's my kind of show. And my goat Beam was the MVP.
Oh, Beam
of
was
that
great.
fucking
Beam was
movie.
great. Okay.
Tralala, tralala on fucking Chainsaw Man. He's so goated.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I liked the length of it as well. It wasn't as long as Demon Slayer, where like obviously that needed to be longer because you needed to learn about Akaza, you needed to learn about the backstories, the fucking everything like that. I get why that one was longer, but for this one, for it being one condensed arc, I went into that movie, kind of forgetting where I was with like where season one finished. I knew about the gun devil, everything like that, but I'd kind of forgotten what had recently gone on. But when I entered, it just kind of picked up from wherever and let me get on with it. And I didn't feel like I had to remember who everyone was and what exactly had happened last. So it was an easy way for me to just get straight back into it. I feel like I didn't know. Yeah, can we just say that there's going to be spoilers in this?
Yeah.
So don't fucking listen if you've not watched it. I didn't know that Reze became the bomb demon. I didn't know that. I'd seen snippets of Fujimoto's the manga and like later down the line, but I had missed out on what had actually happened here. So I didn't know anything going into this movie, and I was very, very surprised when it happened.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't think.
I didn't know. But as soon as she came in, I said she's a devil, like straight away.
I think for me, the way that it ended was like they've both left the situation. She thinks that Denji set her up, and Denji thinks that she's not come to the cafe. I think that it was a really good movie, man. Like I'm not that literate when it comes to watching movies, so my depth of how far I can break things down is quite limited. But I really, really enjoyed that, and I've watched a good few like video explanations about it and trying to talk me through it, and again getting more out of Denji's character where he thinks he only just wants tits and he just wants his whole, when in reality he's had the opportunity to get things and he realizes that there's more to what he's looking for. And even just relating back to where he was previously before he became fucking Chainsaw Man, it was just great. It was just mint. So I'd say 9. In terms of movies, I've not seen many anime movies to be fair, but that's up there. It's very much up there. And I can't sit and think about, oh, this could have been better, that could have been better. I think 9's a safe bet. I feel like, yeah, it ended really, really well. The fight scenes were great. The second half with the action, with how colourful it was, everything was going on, and the the style of it all, everything just felt fucking great. Mint. What about you, Cam?
I mean, Sims, where it's like, well, I can analytically break something down. However, I'm heavily biased, and see when I'm in a nice reclining chair and I've got a white monster and I'm kicking my feet. And I went to the pumpkin patch earlier in the day, so like my spirits are like at an all-time high. I was gonna be like, this would be hard for me not to enjoy, and fuck me, was it just fantastic. Like, I think some of the things that I wanted to highlight about the film that I really, really liked was, yeah, the animation within the fight scene specifically. Just the amount, the color bursts are very, very similar to like the colorized manga, and the choreography of the fights as well.
Mm.
Insane. Like, Reze fights so uniquely in a way that, like, she is essentially a bomb. So any of her movements are legitimately explosive. That means she can move around very, very quickly. But also the way she almost like breaks herself down at times is very, very clever. The whole thing where she essentially decapitated herself to then throw her head.
Yeah.
I remember reading that in the manga for the first time. I was like, no way, bro. That's so. And I was genuinely like stumped at a point. Like, how do you win in this situation? How do you beat a bot? But all's well ends well. But Denji, the boy wonder himself, managed to figure it out. And yeah, I really liked the sort of, it lets you know sort of halfway through the film that it's not as simple as there are good guys on this side of the fence and there are bad guys on this side of the fence, because your morals are what encompass you as an individual, not just your genetic makeup, not if you're just a devil or a human. And that's really shown towards the end of the film, specifically when you actually start seeing that Reze and Denji have so much in common. They're basically on two sides of the same spectrum, where they were both essentially taken advantage of by different individuals. They never had access or privilege to normal lives previously. And here you see them sort of meeting in the middle. Denji's a little confused who he is. Reze wants to discover who she is with him, but isn't given the chance because a good guy has compromised that for them both. And I think it really left me with chills, being like, oh, it's not like when the My Hero movie ends. It's like, right, the good guys win, and it's good. And I was like, right, it's over for now, but like, there's Denji's probably in more danger than ever, despite it being finished with. And it's like, that to me, the reason why I give it a 10 is because, again, like we say, like, that's made me want to watch more. That's made me want to like legitimately purchase all the manga and just read them and just see now what happens in the future, because it's like I'm so invested into the story and to the sort of dynamics between good and evil. Seeing a little bit more of the fight choreography as well is fantastic, and the development as Denji as a character, he develops a lot over the course of the film. And yeah, all I'm going to say is season 2 is going to be hype, and you two will regret clowning me for putting this in my 3 by 3, because it is fucking very good. I hope that this film has given me a chance to almost prove myself. Like, hey guys, Chainsaw Man's not as stinky as you think it is. So yeah, that's where I'd leave that.
Very good. What's your GOAT anime movie?
Oh,
Silent Voice is up there for me,
That's a great one. That's a great choice.
The Afro Samurai movie.
I will say.
Is that the one with is it Samuel L. Jackson that voices him?
Bro, it's
I'll say Your Name.
Your Name. Is that the? Hold on. I'll need to.
It's like they swap bodies.
I'm gonna have to look it up, and I can't. Kimi no Nawa. That's it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I've heard of both of these movies. I've heard how critically acclaimed both of them
They are both incredible movies. Like,
are.
oh, you should. I think they're both must-watch movies. Like, they're so unique as well. Both of them. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing else like any of those in any anime. I would say.
Those two movies not quite similar to each other.
No, 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 no. So they're both like slice of life, romancy type ones, but Your Name is more about different people living different lives and like kind of building a connection through that across different timelines. Whereas Silent Voice is more to do with bullying and
I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I've thought
Silent
the wrong
Voice
way
is
around.
more
Yeah.
bullying, I would say, and
Yes.
then this bully's journey of like seeking forgiveness and building a friendship with this girl, basically.
Yeah. But his mental health as well.
Yeah.
Because he ends up like, oh well, we can't really say it, but yeah, it's about his mental health after being a bully.
Yeah.
Because literally the first 5-10 minutes of it set the tone for his character once he's grown up. So man, I'm surprised you've not watched either of those.
Yeah, they're both fantastic.
Do you know what it is? I'm not fantastic when it comes to slice of life shows.
It's beyond slice of life though. Like, especially Your Name has an element of like sci-fi and time travel to it, where it's not just slice of life. At the beginning it more is, but it's a masterpiece. It's amazing.
Do slice of life. This is the thing. I'm really not opposed to it. To like dip back into the Chainsaw Man. If it's done well, it can hook you. It can very much hook you because it gets
Yeah.
invested in the characters. But the thing is where it doesn't hook me is after 12 episodes and no one's on tralalelo tralala fighting in a big tornado. I'm like, okay, but what's the stakes here? You know, like what is this alluding? Is this allude to something deeper?
Yeah.
But for myself, it's like,
I would say both of those movies are a bit more heavy though for like slice of life in terms of the topics they cover. They're quite like hard hitting. They're not just like happy go lucky slice of life. Whereas like you feel for the characters, you get invested in them, and you feel like the stakes. It might not be the end of the world stakes, but it's stakes for the characters.
There is something on the
yeah,
line for the individual.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check them out, especially because the most recent movie, like, I don't know about you boys, when I see like a good ass anime film, it makes me want to just sink my teeth into more of it. And times in which I tend to notice I've watched less anime is when I've not seen anything that's piqued my interest, so to say.
Yeah.
You know, and for right now, I'm like ready to like get like back invested again.
Are you boys watching anything new series wise?
I'm going to start a bunch. I like screenshotted some of like the best shows coming out from next season.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Do you have anything that you recommend?
You've probably seen all of my recommendations, to be honest.
But of the new season.
New season.
Yeah.
Have you seen Steins Gate?
No.
Watch Steins Gate. It's
Well,
short. It's like 12 episodes, I think.
Yeah. Is that the one where he time travels using a
Yeah.
microwave?
Yeah. It's
A microwave.
one of the best written shows I've seen.
Mate, no, you'd be fucking spinning through time.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what came up on my Netflix? It was like a year ago. It's something called Chicken Nugget. It's a K-drama. And it's about this guy who works in like a random warehouse and his daughter goes into this machine and it scanned the chicken nugget from the guy's dinner, and it's about how she just became this one tiny chicken nugget. And then the guy picked up the chicken nugget, put it back into his box, and I can't remember what happened, but then they lost the daughter amongst the chicken nuggets. And it's just these Korean men going, ah, trying to find this fucking one chicken nugget that's a girl. Mate, hold on, I'll need to find it. Chicken nugget K-drama.
Is it like serious as well? Is it serious?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna screenshot. Can you see that?
Hang on.
No, we can't.
Just loading for us now.
Hold on, let me try again. Please tell me that's coming up.
No. Black screen.
This is it not fucking hell? Yeah, type up chicken nugget K drama.
Also, AniGains viewers, I've started paying for fiber optic broadband. I'm sure you'd all be riveted to know.
No, what you can do is change your camera to your phone and then film your screen.
Turn off my camera.
Hold on, I think Cam's got it up now.
Ah,
Yeah.
what the 5.1 IMDb rating.
Go on images, it's him feeding her with a spoon.
Oh, wow.
Mate,
This,
how fucking fried is that?
this looks... What was their budget? Was this licensed by Netflix?
Yeah. This came out a year ago. I watched like one episode and I thought, I'm tripping. I can't keep watching this. It's like something that you'd need to watch high, I assume.
This is people have watched Squid Game.
What,
Same
South
people.
Korea?
You mean Koreans?
Yeah.
Korean.
Yeah. Just they're all the same. We need to cut this out of the podcast.
What?
The same people.
The Korean
Korean.
Netflix team.
They're not one
Yeah.
company. It's not one production company that makes every single Korean series.
Well, they both came out of the same fucking production studio.
Oh my days.
Listen,
Jeez.
you win some, you lose some. Maybe Chicken Nuggets is peak.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
a show.
On a side note, I'm watching Hajime no Ippo.
Yes.
But-
Good. How far in are you?
I'm like 15 episodes in, I think, now.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Really, really good. Like,
This is coming from someone that doesn't like sports
I
anime
don't,
as well.
I traditionally like don't like sports anime, but like instantly, like you become attached to this character. He's almost like actually his voice actor, I'm pretty sure, is the voice actor for Rock Lee from Naruto. And he almost reminds me of Rock Lee a little bit in terms of like the work ethic and just like training like day in, day out. And those kind of characters I love and kind of resonate with. But no, it's well written. Like I love like the old school retro animation. The characters are like very well written, like fleshed out. They're relatable as well. So yeah, it's like a very feel good anime, I would say, more than anything. I normally watch it before I train because it gives you that like oomph to like fucking smash it in the gym.
It's feel good to an extent. It'll never become feel bad, but it'll be feel tense. I'd say.
Yeah, but but you kind of need that to then feel good.
Yeah.
When the good moments happen, it's almost like the early Naruto kind of, when it's like a bit less at stake. And with Naruto, when it's like that feel good vibe, when you want him, you're rooting for the protagonist to like level up and get better and do well. But it's not like, for example, I'm going to say solo leveling again, where this guy just walks into every challenge and wins everything. Like he's relatable and he has struggles and real life things that are going on as well. So, yeah, man, no, I'm enjoying it so far.
It's good show. I used to watch it when I used to. I got very, very far. I got up to the point where Takamura fights the eagle. That was like one of the best fights, I would say. Just for the payoff more so than anything. It's one of the GOAT moments of the show. Yeah, Kev, stick with it. Yeah, I think you're there.
Oh,
Huh?
what? What's up?
What did you say?
I said I will.
Oh, that was not legible to me.
Oh,
I thought you told me to go home. I was like,
I am home.
I was like, all right, well, I'll go fuck myself.
Excellent.
With that, I think that nicely transitioned us to getting points across. And a topic I wanted to speak about within bodybuilding is, sometimes people say things they don't mean to say, and sometimes people are, I would say, for the better part, ignorant. And this is a very interesting conversation I was having with Josh from Natural Physique, which is, where do we draw the line between confidence and arrogance within the sport of bodybuilding specifically? Because I think it's a very real example of how you get a message across, or how a message has come across and is perceived, can be the altering difference between the two. Kez, did you want to elaborate on this a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I think it's become more prevalent recently, I would say, where I think it's in today's day and age where, let's just say, kids will see their favorite influencer win a pro card, do a hashtag Road to Pro series or whatever, and win the pro card on the first attempt, and think because their favorite influencer did that, like they can do that just because they say they can. And then they'll get this, I'd say, like main character energy and main character complex, where they think all this bodybuilding world revolves around them, and then they're like kind of on this storyline to achieve their pro card in this road to pro thing. And that all this, and that they're basically entitled to this, entitled to these big accolades from the moment they enter the sport. And it's like, I think it's a bit of, I don't know, lack of awareness. Maybe some would call it delusion, but um, yeah, I think, and then you see people when they don't get the results they want, then they'll lack accountability, and then they'll blame it on other things like judging or whatever. I was watery or missed my peak or whatever excuse. Um, and then people fall out of love with the sport as well, and then just binge on the diet, and then just never compete again. And it's like, at that point, people are doing it for the wrong reason. They're doing it for the accolades. They're doing it to social media, for like gratification from people on social media. And it's like, that's not, it's great. And obviously it's part of it, but that shouldn't be the reason you compete. Like, the reason you compete is probably because you love training and you love improving yourself and improving your physique, and you want to show that those improvements on stage. And obviously, yeah, it's a competition and it's great to want to win. That's absolutely fine. But have a level of self awareness. Like when I came into the sport, like I never said, "Oh, I want to win this." Like I was like, "Okay, I want to just do my best. Maybe get a top three," and I did that. And then it's like when you achieve these little semi milestones, then that then gives you the confidence to say, "Okay, now I can do this. Now I can do this and this and this." And it's like your expectations of yourself will naturally progress as you get better over time and you achieve these things. And like that's kind of what happened with me. Like the more I achieve, the more confident I get to say, okay, now I want to win a British title. When I did that, okay, now I'd love to win a pro card. But even with that, when I set myself a goal to achieve those things, I never said I'm gonna win a pro card. Like that's just, it's just arrogant, and it's like you don't know that's gonna happen. Like bodybuilding, it's one of them things where it's just who shows up on the day. There could have been on those days easily someone who just showed up who was better than me, and I wouldn't have achieved it. And it's like it is what it is. It's part of the sport. So I think it's just having that awareness. Really, like you're not entitled to anything at all in this sport. Like no matter what your name is, what you've achieved in the past, like you have no divine right to say you're going to do this, this, and this. Like, it's great to have goals and aspirations, but it's just, yeah, having some element of humility and just self awareness, I would say. Because it just, you come across badly as well when you start acting like that to other people, and people don't want to root for people who are just, yeah, who just think they're owed something by the world, I suppose. And the people who are super successful but still have a level of humility, that's the people that everyone wants to root for and everyone likes, I suppose. So yeah, just go into it for the right reasons, and yeah, don't do it just for accolades and for social media clout, because that's often how people get disappointed and fall out of love with the sport. So yeah, that's my 2 cents really. I don't know what you boys have to say.
I think that sometimes it can come with social media, like because people will have arse licks with social media naturally. Um, there's going to be people that will just inflate other people's egos, and you can almost feed off of that, and then they get brought into delusion off of the people that surrounded by, especially if you have a lot of yes men in your corner. Again, it just it depends a lot, because some people will be arrogant because they've achieved certain things, and they will have that confidence, and then maybe it does teeter into arrogance because they have achieved a good amount in the sport, but then they start really overly thinking a lot about themselves, and like having confidence in yourself is very important. However, there is a way that you can portray that, and the way that you can say that and project that out loud. There's nothing wrong with being self-confident, but there's a way in which you showcase that. And I think that's the difference between being confident and being arrogant and coming across like a dick. And I think that sometimes people that have had skin in the game can come across dickish, but I also think that by the same vein, there's people that have done very, very well who have got lots of humility and hold themselves really well. Reze Kiffin, for example, has been in men's physique for a long time now. He's someone that I've only recently become aware of. I'm relatively new to men's physique, but from what I've seen, he is a very grounded individual and holds himself really fucking well, regardless of results or accolades or whatnot. And there's other people, obviously not naming names in bodybuilding, men's physique or whatnot, who don't carry themselves in the same way, and it makes you maybe not think the same as highly of them as you would do. But again, it comes from people feeding into egos, maybe not being 100% honest with their mates who may be in that position. But again, it's about the head that's on your shoulders. There's other people that will be more successful than you that don't let it get to their head. And you often see that the people that don't let it get to your head are the fucking good ones, are the cool ones, and are the people that you'd want to assimilate yourself with. Because I feel like it just comes across quite badly on social media, especially because it's hard to gather tone from a message.
Yeah.
Written messages is hard enough to grasp what a person's trying to convey, and again, it could be that way of putting it across there. They mean one thing, but the tone's just completely misinterpreted. So before you know it, they're coming across as brash and arrogant, where in actual fact, they're actually just quite confident in what they're doing, but it comes across dickish because it's on a message, or the way it's been worded, it's not articulated in the same way with voice and tone and pitch. So there's many things that go into it, but that's the biggest thing I would say that kind of comes into arrogance and self-confidence, would be social media and the people that are around you, I think.
So I think it's quite funny. So I'm somebody on the other side of the spectrum. A little while ago, again, I'm not going to say any names, but I was told by somebody in person that I was incredibly arrogant. I was told, it was like, you will be this. Like you know where you're going, but you already act as if you're this. You already act as if you carry yourself like you're a pro. And I remember being told this and being taken quite far aback because I've never not been aware of the standard around me, and I think it's something that can be misconstrued. This individual, I don't think, potentially knows me that well, or potentially they know me better than myself. Who am I to say? It's another person's opinion of you. But yeah, essentially, they they said I was fucking arrogant, and it took me back because I was like, okay, well, have I carried myself across in a way that would do that? I have very high goals. I have very high expectations of myself, and by no means is you as an individual saying you're aiming to get X, Y, and Z. That does not inherently make you arrogant. Saying that you believe that you will, I'd say to an extent, it's sort of like in the midline. But you can't say for definite, but you can back yourself with enough confidence to be like, right, I'd be surprised if I didn't. Being realistic about yourself, saying that you were owed it, saying that like it's a long time coming, you've been robbed of something. That is where it is arrogant. So it's one of these where it's something I personally try and make sure I don't do. I don't ever want to perpetuate myself as being, just fundamentally a dick, because there is quite a lot of those. There's quite a lot of people who carry themselves very, very poorly, and I'd hate to be lumped into the same camp with them. But again, having confidence in yourself and having backing yourself, I don't think it's inherently a bad thing. In fact, I'll even probably push back a little bit on what Kez said for competing for the right reasons. I don't believe that there is a right or wrong reason to compete. I think there's ones that are, I'd say more people would be willing to root for you for, but ultimately, you do whatever you want to do. If it's going to help you get to a goal that you think you can get to, go for it. Pursue it. Be very, very good at it. Just be realistic in your terms of approach to avoid letting yourself down, but also to avoid letting other people that care about you down. So yeah, I think it's a bit of a hard one. It's something that I don't know where to assess the line. I've been told other people are arrogant, and I don't inherently see that straight away. So maybe I am. Like maybe I really am, but I don't know. I've seen people who I would consider to be, and I think how it carries yourself is fundamentally just down. I think the thing is how you interact with other people. That is a showing of character. If you are speaking down to anybody because you believe that you've achieved a certain level of something, I'll be honest. I've spoken to like Olympians, and they carry themselves in a way that's no different from the way that I talk to you two, or the way that they talk to probably anybody else. They don't walk around with a chip on their shoulder. I'm speaking to people who've achieved a lot less than that, who would be maybe a little bit ruder, because they feel as if they're owed something. And I think that's the biggest thing in terms of me is how you treat another person is directly reflective of whether you're confident within the realm of yourself or whether you are arrogant. I would say personally. If you feel free to push back on anything I've said.
No, I think that's part of it for sure. Like, obviously, yeah, saying outlandish things about yourself, I say would constitute as being arrogant as well. That are not based on reality. I would say that's one big thing. Like, if you're gonna say something that you're gonna do, at least make it somewhat grounded in like reality and what's happened before, rather than saying something absolutely crazy, you're gonna win the Olympia or something like that without even competing before. Like there are people who say this, like, "Oh, one day I'm gonna win Mr. Olympia," and they've never competed. I'm like, how are you saying that? So that's almost delusion at that point. And but I agree. I don't like it when people think they have a certain status and then they think they have a right to treat people a certain way or think they're above everyone else. I think there are people like that for sure. In certain gyms. I'd say I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Noah?
I think it's spot on. I think we've covered most of the bases, to be fair.
Yeah.
I get it when someone's got a projection of where they can achieve, like realistically what they can achieve, and even if those are goals that are unfathomable from other people. Like for myself, me winning an IFBB Pro card is not going to fucking happen. But for someone else saying their goal is to win an IFBB Pro card and their route there is very plausible, that's not arrogance, in my opinion. Saying that you could genuinely achieve something and it's within your realm of possibility, that's not arrogance, that's confidence. That's you saying, I want to achieve this. This is my ambition. But again, it's down to the work that you put in and just fucking, I don't know, it's the way that you present yourself. I think if you come across like a smarmy arsehole and acting like you're owed this, and just because you do a certain thing or you've done a certain thing for a certain amount of time, it's guaranteed to happen, or you've had success previously, so you must have it this year as well. I think that if you then go on and don't achieve the things that you want to, it then shows your character. And it's then more about the person that you are away from the athlete that you are as well, because they can be quite separate things. But yeah, that's my take.
But then, real talk, then, what's the correct way to maneuver yourself on social media? Let's say, I don't know, I have a goal for next year, right? My goal is to get a PCA Pro card, right?
Say that. Say that. Say my goal is to get a PCA Pro card. don't say I am gonna win a PCA Pro card at all. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be undeniable. No one's. I'm gonna smoke everyone. Like, no,
Yeah.
you're perfectly within your right to say I. It is my goal to win a PCA Pro card next year, and that's what I want to achieve. I said that last year. I said I want to win a WNBF Pro card last year, and that's what I want to do. But I was under no delusion or illusion that I was like owed it or I was guaranteed it. Like I was fully prepared on that day to get beaten and not win the pro card. Like, but my aim was to win it.
So here's my pushback. So if you're talking about setting realistic goals,
Yeah.
you in your mind's eye, you are confident enough to say, I am pro worthy.
I need to see you get leaner.
No. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about you.
Me? Oh yeah, I was. Yeah.
But
I was confident then to think I was good enough.
so could that not be misconstrued as by somebody else to say that you're arrogant?
So what I would say is I'm around the sport quite a lot and I know what the standards of physiques are. I've already won a British title, which is kind of putting me on that path to get to that point. So I'd kind of achieved a level already where I'm like, okay, I'm somewhat competitive at like the higher level of the amateurs already. And then the next step now is to take the WNBF Pro card. So I'm like, if I can bring my best, I will be competitive. Like that's all I said. I never said, oh, I'm gonna win. I never said that. And that's my goals were based on reality and what I'd achieved on the past, not me just entering a gym and saying I'm gonna win a pro card. Like, yeah, I never said that at the beginning. It's more just based on what I achieved in the past. And I think that's more than fine. Like, let's say um, someone wins the IFBB Pro card. They're like, okay, I want to get top five at a pro show. Okay, then they get top five. Okay, now I want to get top three or win a pro show. Like, it's just those gradual improvements that make those goals a little bit more realistic, I suppose. Um, and yeah, I said it just gives you something realistic and tangible to work towards, and that's kind of how I go about me. Like, I'm not saying, oh, I'm going into next year, I'm gonna win the world championship or whatever. I'd say I'd love to like win a few shows, maybe win a WNBF Pro show. That would be really cool. Um, and maybe a PCA show or like a two bro show. But I'm not like saying I'm gonna smoke everyone. Because I'm not like some undeniable athlete. So yeah, I think just having real expectations and like critically like kind of assessing where you're at physique wise and having some level of self-awareness. Like I feel like I'm pretty self-aware with what my strengths and weaknesses are with my physique, and I can kind of rationally judge where I'm at. Whereas some people, and it's not their fault, they're just not as aware of what the standard is in the sport because they're not as exposed to it as maybe I or we are. So they're not, they think, oh, I'm going to win, whereas they don't know like what the standard of natural bodybuilding or bodybuilding as a whole actually is, and it's really high. So yeah, it's just self awareness really, I think, and that just takes time.
Obviously, you know yourself how good you are. Say somebody in a t-shirt who pays you saying, "Oh, I'm going for a pro card next year," or Kez believes that he's competitive in a pro for a pro card, but they see you just walking around in say two hoodies,
Yeah.
you're just about to leave the gym. They'll be like, that guy's he's fucking delusional. They don't know you, and they think like, oh well, this kid, he's because I think that's realistically that's the case and how it went down for me. Somebody who didn't really know me that well heard a snapshot of what I was saying, and then they were like, oh, he's arrogant, And don't get me wrong, confidence can lead to arrogance, 100%. But I'd say you know in yourself how to carry yourself, and if you think you are leaning on the side of the arrogant scale, you're probably not. Maybe just watch how you say things. But if you are sat there being like, "Yeah, those fucking guys are so arrogant," either way, bro, I'm owed this shit. If that's you, you're the arrogant one. Congratulations. Um, so yeah, but I don't think any AniGains viewers inherently are. In fact, I'd say most AniGains confidence is probably could afford with being a little higher.
I'd say most guys underrate their own physiques on the AniGains viewers.
Yeah, especially a Conroy.
Conroy, yeah.
Mate, second at the third
Yeah.
at the PCA British Finals.
To a pro as well.
Yeah, and to a Trend Chat member as well. So,
Yeah.
pro Trend Chat member, AniGains viewer. Makes sense. Like, it does make sense, to be fair. But yeah, that's an average. Not even the best physique we've had on the show either. We should do that again, actually. And
We should get a guest for the next one though.
should we just message Toyton after this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Do you want to come on our show? Talk about.
That's how you can celebrate winning an IFBB Pro card.
Yeah, you're gonna
Speaking of anime.
me, Kez, and Noah about anime. You're gonna give your own personal opinion. We're gonna say it's bad. Yeah. So. Yeah. Right. Okay. That's about fucking 50 minutes. We'll just wrap it there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, AniGains viewers, if you did enjoy, let us know. Leave a like. Give us a share. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't subscribed already.
And give your out of 10 rating for the Chainsaw Man movie in the comments.
And tell us a story about an individual that you think is arrogant. Tag that individual.
Name drop.
Yeah.
Name and shame.
We'll pull up their profile and we'll go over an honest assessment of what we think they are without their permission. So yeah, that's everything. All right. See ya.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah.